And we are live. Welcome, Dippo. Welcome, Alvin. So we've got the July live stream going on here, day before Independence Day. We like to always tease our UK colleagues about Independence Day, but
Yeah, it's the Americas now. Canada just had theirs, didn't they?
well, they did. They did.
So it's the day we let the Americas go.
Exactly.
Us
One
rebels.
after the other. Um, so I guess just in terms of getting started, the first topic that I wanted to talk about was the Papercup acquisition. So some of you might have heard that we acquired a company called Papercup. They help with sort of transcreation of the videos and sort of international voiceovers of videos. Alvin Dippo, what do you guys think about this acquisition?
I think it's an interesting one. And if you think about it, at the WWDC, Apple just did something similar, but on the consumer sort of level. So that's that live translation and voicing at the same time as you've got the subtitles that are translated. So you're speaking to your abuela and it's getting translated directly into Spanish from whatever language you're speaking. So this on the enterprise side of things is bringing that same concept, I think, at the enterprise scale. Alvin?
Yeah. What I understand from international movies and dub overs is specific voices can have like celebrity status. That's a thing that so and so does Harrison Ford's voice, and he's famous in different markets.
Mm-hmm.
It's really it's really crazy to think that instead of that kind of scenario in your own videos, you have the likeness of the speaker's voice in that language. Yeah, I think it's kind of trippy.
Yeah.
You think
Well,
about
and
it
like
during
they do an analysis of the original voice, and then they use that to do a mapping of what the destination voice should look like. Yeah, I think
yeah,
I think it's an interesting acquisition, and it's going to be sort of run by our language weaver team. So the same team that does the machine translation is also going to be running this. So yeah, we're expanding instead of just machine translation of text, it's now machine translation of voice as well. I think that's very interesting. So second topic today is we're going to just do a quick demo over here of Tridion Sites 15.1.1. And the interesting thing about 15.1.1 is that it's a fixed pack, right? So if you're, sorry, did I say 15.1? 10.1.1, right? Because, sites and docs are on different things. So this is Tridion Sites 10.1.1, which is available as a fixed pack. So if you're already on 10.1, you just apply the fixed pack, and then you get a brand new feature out of it. So I'm going to share my desktop just so people can see what this feature looks like. So everybody loves this side panel that we have in Experience Space. If I open it up, you now have this magnifying glass, and that magnifying glass allows you to quickly do searches of the content. So for example, if I type in light solar over here, do a search, I get all of the listing of words or of components and items that contain the search term light solar. There's a lot of different filters that you can put on there for date modified, created by user. You could even do it by published status, etc. The whole idea is that on an operational standpoint, a lot of teams need to be able to just to quickly identify items that are in the content management repository, and then either do bulk actions on them. So you can select multiple items, do a publish from there. Sometimes people also like to do reporting as well. And I showed this feature to a customer yesterday, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe that it's so nice that we can not only do the sorting quickly within this result set, select which fields, even choosing filtering fields. So if I choose to filter on, let's say, schema over here, I can now have this drop down available, so I can change that list to only show the items that are based off of the schema. Sorry, the offering schema. And when I showed them the feature of, hey, whenever you have one of these lists, you can also now download this as a comma separated variable list, a CSV file. They also love that because you can now take these lists that are created through the search, and then you can easily incorporate them into a spreadsheet. So if you're doing quarterly reports and maybe you have some grouping and graphs and things like that, you can do that. So there's a lot of interesting things that people are going to be able to do with this function. We also have the ability for you to quickly save these as reports. So if I want to say, let me call this live stream. Okay. Live stream report. I can create this. So now within my live stream report, I'm going to have that exact same report is going to be available, and I can continue to do the same things I was doing before in terms of filtering down the list, etc. It's a very nice feature. There was also one other feature that I showed our customer yesterday, and they really loved it, which was the ability to also do reporting on where used and then download those items. So if you look at any one of your components, one of the key things about managing components within a content management system is that there's a lot of dependencies. So from here, you can take a look at the where used by, and we added in a download button over here. So if you've got a component and maybe it's used in 100 different places, you can now also download this entire list to a spreadsheet as well. So those are just a couple of things that you get with the new 10.1 release. So I highly encourage everybody to move up to 10.1 so that they can not only get this 10.1.1 release, but then also in December, we're also making available as a fixed pack 10.1.2. So some things to consider. So that's what we've got on the Tridion side. Dippo, I don't know if you want to mention some things that we've got on the Tridion doc side, specifically
Yeah.
15.2.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like we sort of teased it just before. Share a little bit of my share my screen a little bit, and let's see, make sure I've got the right one, and share. Let me know if you can see that.
Let me see. Yep.
Okay, so basically, I mean, I just a quick reminder, we don't forget, like, our contributors. And so, like, one of the things that I love about Tridion Docs is, like, you've got space for experienced authors with a full fidelity code view, so those of you who like to get into your data XML and do all of that, in code view, you've got that. You've got a word-like editor that hides the XML, and so, like, for your starters, they can start off with a template type of view, and it looks like Word or working in Google Docs or something like that. Hides the XML, but it's fixing it behind there, and none of the XML will be invalid. And then you've got the space for, like, reviewers, and depending on your reviewer level, you can even give them access to actually edit the text, or they're just there to give you comments, so they put in comments. All of those are, like, tracked in a nice document history, so you've got, like, audit trails, who changed what, when, why, and who approved it, and that sort of thing. That's, like, really lovely. In 15.2, what did we do? Well, we streamlined the translations. Hold on, you're still looking at the other. Let's see, he shouldn't be moving on to, yeah, there we go. So, like, there's a new intuitive translation management workflow. It's with an improved review process. You've got more granular control over, like, the languages that you select. You've got enhanced metadata handling. Basically, like, we're boosting productivity. You're able to do things in batch. You're able to do things using clicks and in single windows, or through, like, little wizards. We've improved draft space usability, so authors can now effortlessly effortlessly view, select, and insert variables directly within draft space. You had to be the experienced author and go into the authoring space to do that. Draft space allows you to do that now. And there's improved version management and baselining tools, making tracking those changes simpler and easier. I'd encourage everyone to go over to, and I'll bring that over this way. We've got the webinar that's recorded. So if you go on to say-hello-to Tridion-docs-15-2. I love that. Well, basically, you can watch the recorded webinar, and that way you'll be able to see a demo. I'm sorry I didn't prepare a demo. You made me jealous, showing me that demo of 10.1.1. I should have done that as well. But you watch the webinar, and you get to also see what's happening. There's also improvements to that's been made to Tridion Docs Genius, which is our delivery website, and basically there's loads more coming in there, as well as including personalized access, role-based access, and even more features on the AI end on there. So I mean, they've been working on the APIs as well. Actually, I forgot to mention that it's a lot more work on open API, so making things easier for you to connect all those tools. And I think that's maybe even going to lead us into that next topic that we've got, talking about agents and talking about AI. If you would like to try something like that out, connecting external tools or other agents, reach out to our professional services teams, and they're happy to listen to you and see what they can do. If you're ready to make that upgrade to 15.2, same process, contact us, contact your account executive, and they'll be ready to walk you through. It's quite an easy upgrade as well, this one.
Yeah, and also, if you just want to have a personalized demo, feel free to contact me. My team is in pre-sales, so I'll have a team member who will go through the 15.2 release with you, highlighting the differences, and also talking a little bit about some of the extensibility aspects. And I guess we start to touch on AI a little bit. So within Tridion Docs, there's a couple of places where there's AI that works out of the box. So not only with Draft Companion, but also if you're using the Genius delivery, it's also available for searches. So that if you search for particular terms, you not only get traditional search results, but you also will get AI enhanced results that come up. I guess with Tridion Sites, we're taking a little bit of a different approach. Alvin, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about Tridion Sites and what some of our customers are asking for.
Yeah, so the topic or the question is, do enterprise customers want AI in the box, like the Genius example, which I'll explain, versus, bring your own agents, bring your own AI.
Right.
So for Genius, for example, on the authoring assistant side, Draft Companion, you can get help reviewing content, changing content, summaries, typical things you do against a large language model, an LLM. And that's provided as part of the feature. And on the Genius side, which you can see if you go to docs.rws.com, there's a chat bot where you can ask it of things and get back that search you were just talking about. It's also in the box. Under the hood, it's using an LLM we're connecting through AWS Bedrock to Claude specifically. But in the end, that's transparent to the user, to the customer. On the Tridion side, we're exploring and thinking about, well, do customers want us to provide the LLM as part of the service, or do they have an AI steering committee where they want to choose, or do they have a platform? Jasper's come up, for example, or Jasper AI as a platform that enables workflow and agentic AI. So that's kind of my question, and it's a similar question to, do you use our enterprise components, for example, on the delivery stack? So even before we had our headless solution with DXD and the GraphQL based CD API, customers have created their own content service integrated with their own systems, their own backend for the front end. And then our system will plug into that.
Mhm.
But then other times, other customers will develop directly in our content delivery API and integrate on that side. So the question is, do customers want to bring their own AI agents or even platform?
Mhm.
Or is it a matter of you just want it in the box? You want to be able to purchase it and get that capability?
Yeah.
So if
I
anyone
mean,
has a strong opinion on that, you can join Content Champions or ping one of us to share your use cases. We're also accepting ideas on RWS ideas under the Tridion groups, and there's some good ones from customers in there already that we're discussing with product management for perhaps a future version of Tridion Sites.
Yeah, absolutely. And the 2026 release of Tridion Sites is going to be 10.5. And one of the big themes is going to be around exposing some meaningful endpoints so that people can plug in their own AI system into those endpoints. I think that we will also have some examples that people can optionally use or not use, simply because, as Alvin mentioned, the profile of the Tridion Sites customers in general, they already have an AI team. There's a whole governance team around AI, etc. So instead of going to them with a completely pre-baked solution, we're going to have a plug-in solution for the Tridion Sites customers.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Most large enterprises have got to. I mean, there's even EU directives coming in on that. You've got to govern the use of AI, and so you've got council set up, and then you might start making an agreement with a Microsoft or with Google, and you've tied all that down. You've done all that work, and then someone comes along and says, "Well, no, you got to throw it all out and use ours." No, the best approach is this: allow. You've gotten out of the box, or if you've already done all that hard work, you've got your agreement signed, you've got it all tightly packed, you've created your graphs and all of that sort of stuff. Well, then just plug it in, use the extra functionality.
Well, and also, just from a content perspective, I always think about the iceberg at a customer site with all of their different content, and really, the Tridion just might be the tip of the iceberg. There's all sorts of other content as well that's going to need to be inside that LLM. So I think being flexible is the way to go.
Yeah. I think that work that they're doing on the APIs and expanding it on the Tridion doc side as well. It's that's I think I think we mentioned MCP, talking about agents and all that last month. That's that's that gateway. What you need is those little connectors bridging silos, not breaking them. We can't break silos, we bridge them. And that's where your APIs come in, allow you to then talk to other systems and pull and push information from other systems.
The next question then is it MCP or agent to agent or some metadata approach?
That's next month.
That's next month, exactly.
Don't get me started.
We'll roll that up. Yeah, we'll roll all this stuff up more. It looks like we're at time here. But I wanted to thank everybody for joining us. And I also want to share a little shortcut. So Dippo mentioned taking a look at the 15.2 webinar for Tridion Docs. If you just type in tridion.com into your browser bar, you actually get taken to the right place within the whole RWS hierarchy. And then from there, you can just click on events and then you can see the webinars. Also, if you go to linkedin.com, we have a Tridion page as well. I did a small interview with Small World Studio, which is a digital studio within RWS as well, yesterday. So that's available as a video on demand within LinkedIn. So hope to see everybody next month, and we will pick it up from there. Pick up the AI conversation from there. Alvin and Dippo, thank you so much, and we'll see everybody later.
Cheers.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Speak soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.